Hey guys, it's Shalise, and I am here today with my take on Birria tacos, and it will have the soup. I will re-listen to the name of that so I can pronounce it correctly, because right now I can't pronounce it right, and I don't want to butcher it. So I'm already going to butcher the names of these chiles and everything that I'm about to start with. So we are going to start with the chili paste that gives the Birria its flavor. So I have guajillo chiles, I think. I should have my son come in here and... Aiden, come read these names for me real quick. I think it's Goyallo and Pasilla Ancho. So I have each of them, the small ones and the big ones. So I'm gonna have Aiden read the names of this one. What's that one?
Guajillo.
Guajillo. Mm-hmm. Oh, because guacamole, guajillo. See, I had the yo part. And then paella ancho. I knew the ancho, but pasilla? Mm-hmm. Paella or pasilla? Why is the I not E?
Yes, pasilla.
Oh, pasilla. All right, thank you. So those are the names of the chilies we're going to be working with. So right now we're going to have 2 of these and 1 each of these. I'm going to devein them and de-seed them, cut the stems off, and rinse them in my little colander. And I will be back once I get that done. Okay, so I have these all de-seeded and deveined. So I'm going to rinse them off real quick and put them in the pot over there that you see. We're going to get that to a boil and then cover for 20 minutes to let it steep and soften, and then we're going to work on the beef. Okay, and my beef that I am choosing to use today is beef brisket, and let's see, it is 3.25 pounds. So I've looked at several different recipes on how to make this, because first I saw a bunch of different mukbangs and different reviews and stuff on these tacos. So I am taking a bunch of different recipes I've seen and mixing them together to get what I think is going to be good for my family and for my taste. So I'm using brisket. Let me go ahead and get rid of this paper. Okay, and I'm going to use, let me get this off first. I'm using Chef Marito's brand of carne asada seasoning. Once I can get all this plastic off, we'll be in good shape. Okay, so I have it open, but I want to cut this brisket into quarters so that I can brown it easier. And you want to leave the fat on. So you see the fat cap? That's going to actually add some nice flavor to the meat, as well as give me the fat that I need later to crisp the tortillas. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is remove this glove because I need to be able to hold the bottle. So I'm going to season it on all sides generously. And man, this stuff reminds me of my childhood. I had neighbors who were from Mexico when I was a kid growing up. And the daughter, her name is Lisa. Well, her name is Dolores, but we called her Lisa in case she happens to be watching this video. It's me, Shalise. Anyway, we were thick as thieves growing up, and her family used to invite me over when they had parties and different things like that. and they would make carne asada. Well, I didn't know what it was when I was a kid. I just knew it was really good meat. So me, with my 6, 7-year-old mind, would call it the Mexican meat because I had never had anything like it. So when I found this seasoning, actually my friend Jennifer introduced me to it to make some carne asada tacos, and I was just dumbfounded. I was so happy, and I bought it. Actually, she gave me a couple of bottles when we were down in LA visiting, and then I was able to find it up here, and I keep it on hand for like carne asada tacos or for roasts or anything like that. Now, I will tell you that none of the recipes that I saw have the carne asada seasoning on the meat, but that's why it's my own, and that's why you tweak recipes here and there to suit your tastes. So this is done seasoning, and I will show you that this is at a boil. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off, put on a lid on it, sorry, and then set the timer for 20 minutes so that will steep. So I'll be right back. Okay, so my lid is on. It's over there. There we go. I have heated my pan and put some olive oil in there, and we're going to brown the brisket on both sides for about, I forgot to set my timer, for about 2 to 3 minutes each side. So that we can go ahead and seal in some of that flavor from the seasoning. Let me get some more of that oil, Mike. I'll be in a new kitchen soon, which hopefully will be better to film in. My stove is slanted. So I'm going to have to do these 2 at a time because the pieces are just so big and I don't want to overcrowd. So I think I'm going to do 2 minutes on each side just so I can get them done. So I'm going to go ahead and get these browned and then throw them in the crock pot, and I'll show you the next steps when that is done. Now I have my second batch in here browning. It was way quicker than 2 minutes on each side, so let me go ahead and, yeah, it's about ready to turn those. It's working really fast. You don't want a full, cook or anything. You just want a nice brown. So I was going to start chopping my onion, but this is only going to take about a minute or so, so I'll be back once I get these into the crock pot. And we're going to chop our onions and our garlic. Okay. So that's what our meat looks like. There's a nice sizzle right here on the fat cap of that brisket, which is going to taste so amazing mixed in with the meat. So we're going to go back and start chopping the onion, or actually we're going to slice them. Anyway, I'll show you when we get there. Okay, so here I have my small white onion, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cloves of garlic, which is what I'm going to use because we are garlic lovers in this house. So I'm going to go ahead and take off that end. We're going to cut through the hairy section so that it's cut in half. And then we're going to peel off that outer skin. And this is how I've learned how to chop an onion. It makes it so much easier, but you do it however you do it. That makes it easy for you. So first let me go ahead and rinse off this cutting board so it gets all the hairs off. I'll be right back. Alright, so we're going to take our halves, place them there. it's gonna be, let me put you on the other side. Might be a little easier to show. There we go. So the way I cut my onions is I keep the hair part on, and this is just for slicing. You just slice down as close to the hair as possible without getting into it. And that part came off, so we're just gonna chop the end off because it dislodged. So then you have perfectly sliced onions. Okay? I'm going to keep doing that, and you can do them as thin or as thick as you want to. Of course, the sharper the blade, the thinner you can get it. This one needs a little bit of sharpening, but I had already put my ceramic knife in the sink. And really, it's going to cook down anyway, because we're going to put these in with our beef in the crock pot, so it's really not going to matter too much. And these, since they're on the side, sometimes you just got to come in. And then you just chop off this hairy part. And if you've gotten close enough, there should be perfect cuts. Just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other half, put these in the crock pot, and then I'll be back with the garlic. And then with the garlic, it's also going to be a rough chop. And I take off the heads where it comes from, the actual bulb. And the way I like to get the skins off is by using a mason jar and shaking it real hard in there, but I don't have one available. So, the second best way that I have found is to put your knife flat, punch it. And it makes it so much easier to, well, I guess I didn't punch it. Oh, there we go. It makes it so much easier to just kind of peel off. And that one's done. So I'm going to do that to the rest of them. Okay, so I'm done peeling my last piece of garlic. I'm going to take a paper towel and just kind of get these little skins off. And then it's going to be a super rough chop, because again, it's going to cook down with the meat. Alright, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in a crock pot. We have 3 minutes left on the chilies, and I will show you what we are going to do once those are done. Okay, so I have drained the water out of the chilies, and have that here. I have one Roma tomato. I'm just going to kind of, well, let me get a paper towel. I already threw my cutting board into the sink for washing, so I'm going to cut the top off. I don't know if you can see that, because first of all, I don't like tomatoes, but I do like cooked tomatoes and things that come from tomatoes. And then I'm just going to put the halves in here. Alright, so that's that. I am then going to, where is my can? Put one chipotle pepper, and it's in adobo sauce. That smells so good. And I'm not a huge chipotle fan, but I want to stay as authentic as I can, and it appears that every single recipe I saw had a chipotle and adobo sauce. So So, looks like there's a little bit of onions here. I'm going to throw that in there. Some of this, you know, to get some more of the sauce in there. I do like adobo sauce. That's good. I'll put the rest in a container for another dish. That's going to add a little bit of kick without being ridiculous. Okay, and then I'm going to add this is really low. I'm going to add 1 cup of water to this. Alright, so then I'm going to take you over to where the crock pot and the Ninja top is, and we'll get that blended. Okay, so I have my Ninja on, and we're going to go ahead and blend this to a puree. And one more. Alright, that looks good. So now what I'm going to do is strain it, and I only have this itty bitty strainer. So I'm not going to make you sit there and look at that. I'm going to strain it and show you what the end results are, and I'll be back. Okay guys, so I have this little bit of the mixture left that is not strained, and I'm going to go ahead and add that, just only because it's a little bit. It's not going to affect as far as the spiciness and everything too much. I'm not worried about it. This is what I have gotten out of straining. I guess I should use my other hand. And pour that all on top. And this is the paste that's left over after straining. So yeah, I do really need a bigger strainer so it doesn't take it much time. It took about 10 to 15 minutes just for me to do the little bit that I did. Or, well, it's, you know, almost the entire container, but yeah, it took quite a while, so I need to get a bigger one of these. But anyway, haven't needed it until now, so who would have thunk? So I'm going to go ahead and put these in the sink, and then we're going to go with the dry ingredients and get this thing going. Okay, now we are working with the dry ingredients, which are going to be put into this nice little Power Ranger bowl for my kids when they were young. So I already have 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground clove, 1/8 of a teaspoon of, move that over, of cinnamon. And let's see, now I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of beef bouillon powder. And you know, just for my own satisfaction, I might do 2.5. I like things seasoned. We're going to do 2 teaspoons of Mexican oregano, and I went ahead and just got stuff from the store. I'm going to actually cut this so that when I rebag it, it still has the tag on it. Alright, so 2 teaspoons. Of Mexican oregano. And it doesn't say Mexican oregano, but it was in the, so I hope it's the same thing, but it was in the Mexican food spice aisle, and I didn't see anything that said specifically Mexican oregano, so excuse my ignorance if that's not the right one, but we're going to go with it. So then I got some thyme, which I think we already have, but it was only 72 cents, so I mean, why not? We're going to do 1 teaspoon of thyme. There we go. Put that right there. We're going to do a a teaspoon and probably a half of salt. Now I use garlic salt with parsley because I like the taste of it more, but it does not, okay, I'm going to pour it. It doesn't give you as much salt, so I'm going to do, which is good for my, actually I'm just going to do two teaspoons. Good for my fiance because he is watching his salt intake for high blood pressure, and that's a lot of meat that we're seasoning, so that's not a lot of salt at all. So I'm going to go ahead and take you over to the crock pot. We're going to put this in along with 4 cups of water and get that meat started. There we go. Okay, so all of those seasonings are going together. I'm just putting them all around all of the meat. And we're going to add 4 tablespoons, or I'm sorry, 4 cups of water. I might need more, but we're going to see. So let me go ahead and get the water. So it looks like I'm using about 5 cups, and that's to get most of the meat submerged because I can probably move that around and get that under a little more. Onions in there. Give it a little swirl a little bit. All right. So yeah, that's going to work fine because as it cooks, it's going to cook down more. So I have this on high, and I'm going to cook this for, let's see, it's almost 2, so about 5 hours on high. I will say around 3 hours, and I'm going to go ahead and check it, taste it, see how everything's going because it might take less time, but we don't know. I'm pretty much set on the 5-hour mark, and I will check back when I check this to see if it needs more seasoning or more water or anything, or if it's already halfway done. I don't know. And then we'll go on to the final steps in making the tacos. But wait, there's more. I forgot the bay leaves, so I'm going to add 2 bay leaves. And I'm just going to kind of, so here's the bay leaves. I'm going to put 1 kind of down there and 1 over here. I'm actually going to add a 3rd because they're kind of small right in there, so that way it kind of gets all of the sides of flavor. All right. Okay guys, so it's been about 4.5 hours. I have tasted the meat several times and it's very delicious. It is not quite, and maybe because it's a brisket, it's not quite at the full-on shred part, which I would like, but that's okay because it's still going to sit here for a bit. Right now I'm going to render some of the fat that is on top so that we can use that to crisp the tortillas. So I'm going to go in with my ladle. Try to get as much just fat as possible. If some of the broth goes in there, you know, it's going to happen. But basically what we want just the fat. Okay, so I think we got most of the fat here. I'm going to try a couple more times just to make sure. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a little fat left because there's fat in the meat, but we got most of the rendered fat. So I'm going to go ahead and put this aside with the top on it. Okay, so I took, if you see, they took a big chunk of the broth. I'm going to go ahead and just see how the meat looks here. And yeah, it's kind of falling apart. It's actually falling apart much better than it was before. So winner, winner, chicken dinner. And because, you know, I am the chef and I need to make sure it tastes really good, I'm going to go ahead and try the beef. So give me just a second. I can't even talk. That is delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and put the meat on a cutting board. I'm probably going to do it here since it's close to the crock pot, and get it kind of chopped up a little bit. I'm not trying to do a fine chop. I want there to be some kind of chunks in here with the tacos and the consome. See, I figured out how to say it. It's consome. So we want some meat in there as well. So I will be right back. Okay, so one of the good things about cutting my meat up right now is I found one of the bay leaves, which we need to take out. So let me see if I can find the other two. And then I'm going to add the meat back for a bit, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I found all 3 of the bay leaves. So I'm now going to go ahead and start putting this beef back into the consome. Okay, I'm back with our beef. So to move this over. Oh, it's gonna be hot in here. So I have some Mission corn tortillas. These are white corn tortillas, but I really think the white corn tortillas are lighter than the yellow corn. I could be wrong, but I get a better, I don't know, they just taste better to me with the white corn tortillas. So let me go ahead and open this little package, because it doesn't want to open on its own. That was a stupid statement. It doesn't want to open the way it was meant to open. And then I have some mozzarella that we're going to use for the queso part. And again, I did use a lot of different recipes. And everyone, when it came to the queso, tortillas or tacos seemed to use the mozzarella cheese. So it was very strange for me. So I'm going to, hopefully you can see this, I'm going to dip this into the fat, put it on the grill. And I'm going to turn that down, to 250 because it is popping. Dip it into the fat. Yeah, we just want them to brown on each side. Just got to move that up a little bit. Wants not to. Okay, y'all want to be sticky and stuff. Okay. I don't know how I forgot to record this, but yeah, I already flipped the tortillas, put the beef on there, and now I'm putting the cheese on there. Trying to make it even on each one. Alright, and now I'm going to go ahead and flip these over into a taco. So I'm going to go ahead and flip these because these are closer to the burner, so they're going to cook faster. Yeah, and see, these aren't as close, so they cook slower. And sometimes you might have to get your finger in there. And be careful because it will burn. Just like that. Alright, and so what I'm going to do before I make a whole nother huge batch of tacos is I'm going to have the 2 people in the house that eats the blandest food and are not adventurous at all when it comes to food. I'm going to have them try it. Okay, so one got a little wet because when I was pouring it in there, it just got wet. So, here we have Birria tacos with Consome. And we're going to have them try it for the first time.
Is that hot?
Yes. It's hot, temperature
you can
hot,
see the
but
steam.
yeah.
Well, maybe it's cold. Dry ice.
So you can try it dry if you want, or you're supposed to dip it, but if you want to try it dry first, that's fine. Whatever
We'll dip it.
you guys want to do. There's beef in the Consome.
Gesundheit. That's hot to grab.
This is really good.
It's really good? Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, is it really? Because Aiden said these are really good.
No, I'm going to go for another one, but it's just so
really like
hot to
Good.
hold.
Well, it's hot to hold because I just made them, so. And do you like it with or without the soup better?
With.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. Up early and going with me too, Jim?
What up, people?
It's not
It's
recording.
your boy Ricky.
Why are you recording?
My mom's making some good tacos. We're gonna try it tonight.
They already
see how
tried
they
it.
are. I'm gonna try them tonight, see how they are, and criticize. We'll see you in a minute.
They're good? Awesome. So we have another confirmed great time. All right. Now it's super hot because it just got off the griddle. So Ricky is now going to taste it. He doesn't like any kind of soup or dip or anything. So he's dipping it. Oh, stop it. How is it?
Good.
Good. Oh. Even with
Not-
it dipping.
I just taste the chicken. It tastes like carne
It's not
asada.
chicken.
What is it?
Beef.
Whatever it is. It tastes like carne asada. Ah!
Is it better with or without the dip?
Ah! Without.
You
Oh,
just
yeah.
saying that.
No, for sure without.
Okay, so we got one vote, but that's because he don't like sauce or dip or anything. So whatever.
My vote is all that matters.
Whatever. So I'm about to make some more and then finally give my opinion.
Her opinion.
Okay, so that's a little better. So my taco that has already been sitting in the Consome, I'm going to go ahead and try it. Or eat it, because I've already tried it and it's delicious. But I'm going to eat it and try to find some notes or whatever I can find in it to explain what it tastes like. It is absolutely divine. Just divine. It's delicious and cheesy and beefy and flavorful. I mean, those flavors from the chiles and the oregano and everything, you can taste all of that in there, and it's so good. It just, oh, it's so good. It's so good. I've had this once in California some years ago. Oh, it had to be like 17 years ago because I've been in Oregon for 13 years. And I remember it being good, but I don't remember it being this good. So, if you guys want to try it, it's a little bit off of an authentic recipe, but it's damn good. So, if you want to try it, go ahead and follow the recipe that I showed you here. I will try to put it in the description box. I'm really terrible about my description box, but I'll try to put the ingredients and everything in the description box, and then you follow along with the video for the rest of it. But damn, this is some good stuff. So let me know if you made it. Let me know if you made my recipe or another recipe and how you loved it, because I can't imagine you just liking it or just being like, I imagine you loved it. So let me know how you loved it. And yeah, I will see you in the next video.